We're here at the Harriman Clubhouse in the Lower East Side of New York City. Are we in the house? Justice Breyer, thank you for your time. Here's our first question.
Hello, my name is Christopher Velez. I'm 15 years old and I live in Lower East Side. I would like to thank you for speaking with us tonight. And my question is, what is the difference between a judge that is elected by the people of the state and a judge that is nominated by the president?
Good question. Federal judges, which were appointed by the President of the United States, of course, are appointed. They're not elected. And a lot of the states, not all of them, have judges who are elected. That came along about 100 years ago when there was a tremendous tidal wave of popular feeling that all judges should be elected. I grew up in California, and judges were elected there when I grew up. Now there is a plus and there is a minus. I think the plus is that sometimes when judges are elected, they're a little closer to the people, and they understand popular thought. They understand how people understand themselves and others. And that's a plus. And I've never been elected as a judge, but I know judges who are elected, and a lot of them tell me, don't understate the importance of that, that's a good thing. I also know there's a minus. And the minus is that sometimes it might be harder for a judge to be fair if he thinks that his decision, or her decision, is going to mean he's going to lose the next election. Suppose you're the most unpopular person in the world, and you're going to have a trial. Well, you're entitled to a fair trial no matter how popular you are. And you don't want that judge to think, if I give this individual a fair trial, I may lose my job. Now that's the danger in the elected system. But in California, where I grew up, and in a lot of the states, they tried to take that into account. And there were a lot of ways of turning it into a system that's really pretty much appointed, and the person can stay there unless he really messes up. I'll spare you that, but I'll tell you something that's happened that's not so good. In my opinion, and that of some of my colleagues, recently, in the last 5 years, the last 10 years, we've discovered in many states that elected judges not simply run for election, but they collect campaign contributions. And sometimes these elections become very heated. I had a student of mine who became the Chief Justice of Texas, and he said he had to raise several $1 million in order to run in that race. Now, I think it's fair to say, though I don't like to comment on controversial things, I will on this one, that that is not a desirable thing. You can figure out systems of election which don't necessarily get judges into a mode where people think they're unfair.